Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. I'm your host, Tina Prigge, Vagabond Creative Studio. This is Kristin Odell with KLO LLC. We've got our cups of coffee, and guess what? We've got coffee from Broadway because Karen Rohr is joining us this morning. She's the Executive Director of Treehouse Theater. Welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina.
Thanks, guys. It's awesome to be here.
So show everybody your Lion King mug. Just a little hint. We're going to talk a little bit about theater today. So, Kristin, tell us a little bit why you thought it was important to have Karen on the show. I love this story. Oh, Karen, we just lost Kristin. So viewers, if you don't know, Karen is the executive director of the Treehouse Theater, which is this great community theater for kids. And Kristin is back. And Kristin was just explaining how you started Treehouse about 10 years ago in your living room. And now you've got your own space. Let's just give people a little teaser of what that space looks like today. Tell us how you went from living room to this really cool space.
Well, a very small group of us started in my living room talking about creating a quality youth arts program that supported kids' ability to be themselves, to be creative, and to meet other creative kids, because the school arts programs are lacking, and we wanted to boost the high school programs in the area, and eventually the colleges, and eventually, who knows, maybe even a kid would be on Broadway. And what do you know, we accomplished that already, but we got to go backwards a little bit. It started in my living room. We rehearsed in church basements for 2 years. My basement got fuller and fuller of props and costumes and papers and whatnot. We started renting out a warehouse to store some of the bigger set pieces. Eventually, we built our own studio right next to the old Coolest Coast corner hangout on Franklin and 8th. And then in 2019, we bought the old antique mall and fully gutted the building, all 3 floors, and have put in over 5,000 hours of volunteer labor went into gutting this building, bringing in wood like this. We framed it, we insulated it, we drywalled the entire first floor, we've decorated it. We obviously had to hire some electricians and plumbers and people who actually do this for a living to get things done on a more timely basis. But the transformation of that crappy building that stunk to this amazing, gorgeous maple wood floors that we found underneath the 8 different floorings that were there, and just the ability to do what we needed to do and put walls where we need to in this great big expansive opening, the sky is the limit on what we can do in this building and what we hope to do, for many, many years to come. And we own this building, so nobody can triple our rent and tell us that we need to leave. So we're thrilled to be here forever.
And now you have enough space that you can actually perform there. You said you're going to do some of your summer performances and workshops right there on site. How brilliant is that?
We have a building occupancy limit, obviously, that we need to stay under. So it's a smaller, more intimate audience for our kids, which the kids for the show we're working on right now are super excited to be able to see facial expressions of audience members, because that's not a thing at the Capitol Civic Center or at UW. So they're pretty excited to see what that's like. It is a big room, but it's pretty crowded right now with staged seating for a small of 50 people. And then we have a cast of 31, and then we have crew members, and it's exciting. It was not planned, but Treehouse is all about being flexible and going with the flow and figuring out what's next and trying new stuff and keeping a positive attitude. So it's gone way far in 10 years than I or anybody who started this thought we could do. So thank you to
And I love it because Yeah, and theater's not just all fun and games, right? Like there are actual demonstrated benefits to children and people that participate in theater, right? Like the comfort with the ability of public speaking, empathy is increased by being able to like put yourself into a total different character's shoes and play that out. So you're really giving kids such a strong base as they go into life and kind of discover who they want to be.
Absolutely. Plus, we're teaching them responsibility and accountability. Like, if you have lines and you don't know them, you feel kind of silly when we start doing run throughs of the show and you have to keep asking for a line, or
Line.
you sat on your phone, backstage and you missed your entrance. And that happens once. And guess what? It doesn't ever happen again to those kids. They don't want to experience that. So, there's lots of life lessons, including teamwork. It's not just sports that teaches teamwork. We have 31 kids working on this show that will open this weekend. And if they didn't work together, this would not happen. So it's really, really collaborative.
So yeah, let's talk about the show that's coming up this weekend, Once on This Island. What do you want people to know?
So this is an extremely unique story in that most people don't know this show. But I personally, not being an arts person background-wise, I put this on the same level as Les Mis or The Greatest Showman, in that it's tons of music, it's a gorgeous story, and I guarantee you will be stuck with this music in your head and the messages that we / the kids will send you as an audience member. It's just one of the more beautiful want to do dream shows for anybody who's in the arts, and the kids just glommed onto it as soon as we introduced that we were doing it. We did not have a smaller number of kids interested in doing it just because it's not a big named Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast show. Our kids are arts loving and want to learn how to be better storytellers. And this show is hugely important for people to learn more about the arts and more about the power of storytelling. And obviously there's love involved, there's hope, there's faith, there's pain, there's grief, but in the end, there's union of the rich people from one side of the island and the poor people from the other side of the island obviously need to unite and get together to live together as one. So it's a pretty neat message and amazing storytelling and music.
Oh, it sounds great. And viewers, if you're like me, I saw this date, June 18th, June 19th, June 20th. In my mind, that is a long way out. But no, shocker, June 18th is actually this weekend. So
It is. We are actually sold out already on Friday evening. So we have 2 shows Saturday at 1 and 4, and we have 2 shows Sunday at 1 and 4. So we will have tickets for sale at the door, but I can't guarantee they'll be available. So if you want to ensure you have a seat, I strongly encourage you to go on the website. We do have a streaming option available too. So if you would prefer to be at home and watch on your big computer screen or TV and stuff, that's an option too. That we've never done before and can't wait to do it. And we have experienced people in the industry, who will be doing it. So it won't be something you don't enjoy. We have something for everybody. So I really hope people come and support these kids because honestly, they started working on this show a year and a half ago, and they really cannot wait to present it for people.
Kristin, I know that your girls are involved in some of the Treehouse productions. Are they in this show?
Our girls are not in this show. Unfortunately, Karen would have loved for them to be in the show because we've got softball going on. But Grace will be you have a theater dance class in August. So Grace is going to take the theater dance class in August. And all of our girls are hopefully going to try out and audition for Matilda Jr. in fall. So it will be coming up. So we're excited about that. And Karen, I just wanted to give you props. I used your new ticketing system yesterday to buy our tickets for the show Saturday. It was so easy and amazing. Awesome. And I also was impressed that there's not fees on there. Sometimes when you go to buy tickets and you use a credit card, you end up paying $5 or $10 more with fees. So just high five. It was awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, we are a nonprofit. We try to make it as as realistic as it can be. And yeah, I'm not a fees person at all. Not a big fan. But yeah.
Well, Karen, your story really exemplifies entrepreneurship, right? I love that you saw a need. You saw that there wasn't this theater development, arts development for young kids. You started it in your living room. Now you've got your own space. You're putting on shows. And it's not just summer shows, right? You have shows throughout the year.
Right. We'll be doing Matilda Jr. In the fall, and then we're doing Lion King Jr. At the Capitol Civic Center next spring. With this new building, we actually plan to introduce kids to straight shows. Those are shows that don't have dance and music, but truly just focus on acting. We plan to introduce a whole bunch of things. We're going to hire an education director to take that portion of the programming off my plate. And we've hired a costume rental coordinator, because we rent all of our fabulous costumes across the country to other community theater groups and schools who don't have awesome costumers like I do. So I need to start taking some of these things off my plate so I can focus on the business aspect, which is actually what my background is. And, there's only so many hours in a day, and we tend to overwork when we're running nonprofits.
So I just need to unpack something you said, because I've seen a couple of Treehouse shows and the costumes are always exemplary. They're like awesome. So are you saying that those are created locally?
Yes.
Those are, oh my gosh.
We have some of the most amazingly talented, visionary seamstresses that I didn't even know existed. And they love creating stuff for kids, because their reaction when they bring this costume to this kid and say, I made this for you. Like, if you guys could see the kids' reaction, you would just be, that is what the arts is all about. And that's what we're here for, is to help those kids like break out of their shell or make, grow in their confidence and their ability to speak. Some of them can't even tell us their names hardly when they come to audition. And then 3 months later, they're on stage and they're smiling and they're happy and they've met new friends and they've, taken a chance and it's panned out and stuff. It's just so exciting to watch a kid blossom in such a short amount of time. So yes, the costumes are amazing.
That's fantastic. I love just learning too that we've got, people with that level of skill right here on the coolest coast. It's just one of the, one more reason why this place is great.
And I've actually asked a couple of them if they would ever teach some sewing classes, because honestly, they're awesome seamstresses. They're awesome people. And many of us need to learn how to sew so that art doesn't die. Or woodworking and working out in the shop and stuff. We're all about educating kids, but I have a feeling we're going to branch into kids and their parents if they want to learn together and stuff. So the options right now are pretty high, and it's exciting. It's an exciting time for us.
And you mentioned making friends. I imagine that some of those friendships are going to last a lifetime. I met my husband in theater. Those relationships are just so precious and so strong.
We've had 3 Treehouse weddings already. 2 sets of kids and 2 staff members just recently got married. They met years ago. One was the stage manager and one was our lighting designer. And guess what? They just got married last April. And they met through Treehouse. So we've had 3 weddings.
That's fantastic. Well, Karen, this was so fun. Kristin, is there anything else you wanted to talk to Karen about?
The only other thing I want to mention is, we've had an opportunity, Doug's on the board with Karen. We've had a chance to go and tour the facility and spend time. But if you haven't been down there, please go see this building. It's so amazing. The amount of time and effort that has gone into it is impressive. It's going to be available for rent too, by the way. So if you have an event you want to host, that main big space, we don't have a picture of it in there, but basically it's opposite of that hallway, that picture that we showed. It is a mini ballroom and it looks just like this with the chandeliers and the whole thing. It's so stunning. So, while they're going to be using the space for productions and activities, like this is a space that's available in our downtown for meetings or parties, and there's a beautiful kitchen there. So please go see it and talk to Karen about it if you need it.
For sure. Yeah, that's the way I designed it, so that we could rent the first floor or ourselves use it for a fundraiser coming up and set it up. And I don't have to take it all down to have rehearsal and then put it all back up for the next fundraiser. Mm-hmm. So being an executive director of a nonprofit, you're always looking for somewhere to hold a fundraiser that doesn't charge you an arm and a leg. So our intent as the board is to make it a very reasonable cost, so that you come, you use it, and you make money for your nonprofit, and our community is stronger for that if we have opportunities like that for people.
Nice. Raisa commented, she said, our family loves Treehouse Productions. Excellent work and asset to the community.
Thank you very much. Sure appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Karen, I really appreciate you taking the time this morning to hop on Coffee with Kristin and Tina and tell us more about the really cool and amazing things that you're doing at Treehouse Theater. Super excited. You've got a show this weekend, June 18th, sold out. June 19th and 20th, tickets still available for both the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock shows.
For sure.
All right. Break a leg this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, that was so fun. What a great idea, Kristin. Thanks for inviting Karen to join us.
Absolutely. I'm so excited. We're going to the show at 4 o'clock on Saturday, and I can't wait to see these kids on stage and again, get to spend some more time in that awesome space. It's just so cool.
And are the girls excited? Because are some of their friends now on stage?
Yes, for sure. Our little girls haven't been in productions as much. They have done acting class there. But Grace will certainly know kids that are on stage, and a lot of the staff and seamstresses and other helpers they're, always familiar with because they work with them. So it'll just be really special to be back there and supporting their show this weekend.
Yeah. I heard you guys mention that Matilda is upcoming, and my immediate thought was Grace. Grace would be such a good Matilda.
Right? She's very excited. She's very excited to audition, and actually chose to do that dance workshop just as kind of a warm-up. She originally was going to be in Once Upon This Island, and they had started rehearsing last year and then weren't able to do it because of COVID. So she's excited to do the dance class to get warmed up and back in the groove so that she auditions well in September. So it'll be really fun. I just love it. I think it's not me. I am not an actor. Doug and I are not particularly creative as it pertains to the arts. And so this has always been a way for us as parents to support. Grace is very creative. She loves to paint. She's a kind of a drama queen, this is part of her personality. And so as a parent, I've always found how can I nurture that, even though that's not who I am? And Treehouse has been such a beautiful partner in making sure that she gets to kind of live out her best dramatic sense.
Well, and it's interesting with theater too, because kind of like Karen was saying, it's not just the performers that are on stage. It's not just the directors, to who all the glory goes, right? It takes literally a village to put on a show. You've got lighting, you've got costumes, you've got just the parents that are willing to take kids back and forth and make sure they've learned their lines. You've got the whole business end of it. There's so much that goes into putting on a production.
There certainly is a lot, and there's, parents do a lot of volunteer work and required to do some volunteer work, even something as simple as handing programs out at a show. Somebody has to be assigned to do that. And I think, all those positions you just mentioned, those are great examples of why Karen is amazing at what she does. So go see the show.
Yeah. I think the community is fortunate to have, an organization like Treehouse Theater. So yeah, definitely support it. So Kristin, I noticed you've got a nice bright tan. I can even see the tan lines where maybe there was a tank top or a swimsuit. Yeah. Tell us what's going on.
We were on vacation last week. I love you all, everybody that's watching, but we went on vacation last week with my family. My parents gave us a week away in Upper Michigan for Christmas last year, and we had so much fun being away from home and just taking a break to reset. And so Tina's got these pictures up. The picture on the left is Doug and my brother Casey and our littles biking on Mackinac Island, which
cool.
It looked tropical. It did not look like It just did not look like a Great Lake. It literally looked like we were in the Caribbean. So beautiful. And then the picture on the right, the last day, we're all heading home. We stopped at a Big Boy because, I mean, how many Big Boys
are there? Big Boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is in Manistee, Michigan. I'd have to look it up. But so we stopped to have lunch all together before everybody else headed off last Friday to go home. So this is a great picture of my family all together. And then you can see the Big Boy in the background.
So that's cool. So it wasn't just your family. It was your whole extended family. How fun. Those are precious times.
Yeah. I mean, we've not ever gone on vacation as a group, all of us, ever before. And we maybe have been like up north or different things where it's been a couple of days, but we've never had an opportunity to spend 7 like uninterrupted days. And it was so awesome. The kids played in the sand and swam and kayaked, and we played games and did puzzles, and just, it was so awesome. So yes, this was the view from our deck. That is Lake Huron out there. And you can see the girls are playing volleyball, and on the right there is a little boathouse, and it had hammocks and tables in it, and like every sand toy and boat toy and inflatable and like all of the things. So this was what we got to look at for 7 days. It was so amazing.
So on Huron, are you seeing sunrise or sunset?
So you see the sunrise, although I never got up early enough to see the sunrise. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, we had sunset, but even there's sunset. So the sun would go down kind of behind us, but like they were stunning. Every night was stunning. So yeah, the picture on the left is just one of the nights. Actually, Nora took this picture. My 7-year-old took this picture. Not bad.
Nice.
And then the picture on the right here, this is on Mackinac Island. So all of the lilacs are blossoming there. And so we would be riding bikes, or like we took a horse-drawn carriage tour around the island so that my dad could see the whole island. And you could literally smell the lilacs in the air. They were in full bloom everywhere we went. It was so pretty.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I love the smell of lilacs. Lilacs and jasmine, those two smells are just intoxicating.
Right? Yeah. So we just had such a great time, and it was, like you said, sun and fun and relaxation and just spending. We made almost all of our meals at the house together, and just, prepping meals together and cleaning up together. Like, it's just something that's really nice about that. So
you mentioned you guys are on Mackinac Island. Were you there when the big blue crane from Manitowoc sailed under the Mackinac Bridge? Was that a...
No, we weren't. So that, I think, happened the week before, maybe even 2 weeks before. That would be super cool, though. We did take a day and drove from St. Agnes over to Mackinac City to go over the bridge so the girls could see it and check it out. But,
were they excited by that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an incredible bridge. It's super high off the water. I think Grace said, like, why does the bridge have a curve to it? So we talked about that. And then this freaked Doug out so much. There were guys like power washing and painting the upright things that hold the bridge up. I don't know what they're called. Somebody tell me what those are called. But anyway, it's like the big towers that hold it up, and they're harnessed on scaffolding, but they're literally hundreds of feet above the water. And yeah, I said to Doug, they probably do it all the time. They're clearly not afraid of heights if they're already standing on a bridge like this. But Doug hates heights. And so for him, that was like, he could throw up just looking at the guys working on the bridge.
Oh, no. Well, luckily that's not his calling then.
Right. That is correct. But it was just, again, a beautiful, beautiful week. So, yes.
Could you tell where the two lakes met at all when you looked at Lake Huron in Michigan, or is it just seamless?
So not really. I mean, it's just so beautiful up there. We did drive up to Sault Ste. Marie where the Sioux locks are. So that's where Lake Superior meets Lake Huron. And the girls got to watch a boat tour go through the locks. So they got to see how the locks work. And, it's just really cool to learn about this. Like I said to the girls, Lake Huron was their third Great Lake that they've gotten to swim in. And I said it, like, how cool is it that in your years of life, you've had an opportunity to swim in 3 of the Great Lakes? Like, they're awesome. It's beautiful. We're so lucky.
So are those going to be missions then for upcoming trips, the final 2 Great Lakes?
Of course they are. Why wouldn't we? We have to.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What a cool motivation. Mm-hmm. Hey, I wanted to tell you, are you aware of the summer reading program?
No.
At the Manitowoc Public Library? I gotta say, so this is for adults and it's for kids. It's for all ages, right? And you sign up. You can do it on your phone. You know, they've got this easy to use mobile app, or you can pick up like a paper tracker. But anyway, just for signing up, you get raffle tickets. And then as you meet like reading goals, whether you read 5 minutes a day or a book a day, any days that you log that you've read something, you get like bonus tickets for and chances to win prizes and free books throughout the summer. Anyway, I love the summer reading program. I've been doing it for a number of years. I just feel like it gives me permission to read, you know, something that I love to do. Sometimes I feel like it's a guilty pleasure. But so when I'm like, oh no, it's part of the summer reading program, like I have to do my reading, right?
Right. No, I love that idea. I'm so glad you shared it. We did the summer reading program a couple of years ago. And, you know, our girls tend to read before they go to bed at night. And we actually I have babysitters during the summer that help when I work. And we actually have 30 minutes of reading, like on the girls' chore chart as one of the things we want them to do every day. And so why not go sign up and have it be fun? And we love getting back to the library too. The girls love like being able to touch the books and pick out some of their own books too.
Yeah. You know, speaking of books, there's a picture. This is the cover of a book on the right, The Kindred Spirits Supper Club. It's a book I just finished listening to, but the author, Amy Reichert, one of the librarians told me she's from Manitowoc.
Really?
So it was really interesting because this book is set in Wisconsin. And so all of her references resonate. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I've been there. Oh yeah, I've done that. Oh yeah, that's our little custom. It's so interesting to have the Wisconsin point of view. I've listened to a couple of other books that she's read, and it's just kind of cool to think, wow, from Manitowoc.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to look that one up now. I'm right in the middle of a book. I think it's called Spellbound or something like that. And so when I finish that one, I'm going to have to pick this one up. I love being able to support like local authors, or like when we were in Michigan, some of the things we brought back to remember our trip were things that local artists had made. So like how cool to make that connection.
Yeah, and it just made me realize too that, you know, out in the world, there aren't a lot of stories that are Wisconsin centric. You know, a lot of the stories that we hear and tell ourselves or movies that we watch, they're set somewhere else. Still very relatable, but it's so interesting.
You can't forget about The Great Outdoors. That was based very firmly in Wisconsin.
Was that a John Candy movie?
Yes.
Yeah, from like 3 decades ago.
Yes.
One movie does not a library make.
It still was based in Wisconsin. Maybe there's more and we just haven't explored them yet.
It was just so delightful to experience that, you know, to all of a sudden feel like, oh my gosh, you know, these are my people talking about stuff I know, like cheese curds. I've got it.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, friends, those of you watching, if you know other books or movies, actually Bridesmaids was also based in Milwaukee. Look at, they're coming like crazy. That's 2. If you have other books or movies that you know are based on Wisconsin or from Wisconsin or by somebody who lives in Wisconsin, put it in the comments so that we can share them.
Yeah. Like, did you know, you've gone through Milwaukee Airport, and you know, when you go through like security, right after security, there's a recombobulation station.
Yes.
Did you know that's only a Milwaukee thing? That the director of Mitchell Airport came up with that to like kind of diffuse the stress of people going through security.
I did not know that was an only Milwaukee thing, but I love that word, and I think it makes complete sense. Because
I do too.
That, what you look like in security is discombobulated. So why wouldn't it make sense to have a recombobulation area? What is the definition of combobulate?
Hold on. Let's find out here.
Because if you're discombobulated and then you're recombobulated.
Is combobulate a word? Let's see.
Well, maybe
discombobulate is a word, but English never had the word combobulate.
Interesting. So dis is not a prefix in that word.
So combobulate could be to be combined in a chaotic and haphazard manner. similar to being cobbled together, but with more confusion and less care implied.
Okay, so would that mean discombobulate is an oxymoron?
Interesting. Oh my gosh. I would love to delve into this. Because recombobulate's not a real word, it's a made-up word too. So
right. And if you're recombobulating and combobulating is put together haphazardly, are you just refixing the haphazardness?
That doesn't make sense, because if combobulate is a haphazard put together, then discombobulate would imply the opposite.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a double negative.
Yeah, something doesn't check out right here.
Anyway, it's been lovely. I love the word recombobulate.
I do too.
The best part is, whatever it is in our veins from Wisconsin, we understood what that word meant.
Yeah. And it's a great question though to ask, does combobulate have a meaning? Because the word like overwhelmed?
Yes.
Whelmed is an actual word. Like you can just be whelmed about something.
Ooh,
which strikes me as funny.
Okay, yeah. Next week in the show, I'm going to challenge you to use the word whelmed one time by itself.
It's kind of tricky because, so I understand overwhelmed and I understand underwhelmed, but how are you just whelmed about something?
Is that like being average?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I've laid the challenge down. We'll see how you do.
Did you know that disgruntled? So the word disgruntled?
Yeah.
You can actually be gruntled. Gruntled is like equal to happy. Does it not sound like that though?
Gruntled is a happy word?
Yeah.
Wow. You guys, anybody else's mind blown as I am this morning about this vocabulary? I love it.
Vocabulary with Kristin and Tina.
Tina, what did you do last week when we didn't have a show? You had a whole extra 30 minutes of your day.
Actually, I wasted 3 whole days just being completely sick. I was feverish. I was in bed. It was awful. And yeah. Jason started, then Teak got it, then I got it. Just like this whole sinusy head cold fever. It was awful. And those days I will never get back.
Right.
But I still have a little bit of it, like a congestion in my head, but at least I'm alive and kicking again.
Sure.
But I was well enough to go on a little kayak paddle with my dad. So the picture on the left is me and my dad. We rented a kayak from the marina, and then we pedaled all the way up the river, like around the peninsula. We made it as far as Burger Boat.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, on the right, it's us coming back. We're just going under the 8th Street Bridge. You can see the submarine. And it was neat because the wharf had a live band playing. So there was like entertainment as we were like pedaling up the river, and there were other people out. It was just so fun and heartwarming. It was a great experience.
Did you see any other kayaks along the way?
We did.
Very cool.
Yeah, we did. It was so cute to chat.
Yeah, I know like some of our viewers who have been following along with us have seen us kayak. Tina and I did it last summer. Like, it's so fun. But you could literally go out at any time of the day and see different things, because there's different marine things happening in the river and different, commercial business. There's different animals and birds along the river. Every time I go down there, I feel like we see different things. Like you said, there's bands and music and restaurants and all these like amazing spots along. So every experience, even if you go kayak the river, is different because of that. We're lucky again. It's so pretty.
Yeah. And even just the point of view from the river to see the city, to like see the submarine, for example, from that point of view, or as you go upriver and you look back and you see the courthouse, it's a stunning and unique point of view that we don't normally see in our daily lives.
Yeah. Had your dad been out kayaking before? Really? What did he think?
I think he enjoyed it.
He looked a little like laid back in his kayak. Was that intentional?
I don't think it was fully intentional. I think he thought it was going to be a good idea up front, but didn't really take into consideration, the pedaling and the length of time. Right. I wouldn't recommend that position.
Yeah. You want your body to have a little bit more leverage over those pedals. I mean, it's not hard work. It's very relaxing, but yeah, if you're in it an hour or two, it could get to be taxing for sure.
Yeah. You know, the most stressful thing is as like motorboats would pass and create a wake was navigating, you know, because I really did not want to flip out of the kayak. So
Right.
just as those waves would hit the prow of the kayak, just making sure like, okay, we're not flipping over.
Right. We're good. Everything is good. That's cool. What a special thing for you and your dad to get to do together.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, the folks at the marina are incredible. Like they get everything set up for you. They make sure you're safe with your life jackets and they get you in and out of the water. It just kudos to those guys. They took really good care of us.
I agree. I love going down there. And I look forward. Grace really wants to go out and do that again. So we look forward to doing that this summer.
Yeah. If you ever need another man, let me know.
Yeah, for sure. Another man, another woman, a strong woman.
Awesome. Well, Kristin, this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we are back this week and already looking forward to next week. A big thank you to Karen Rohr from Treehouse Theater for sharing a part of the morning with us.
Yes, I am so happy she's able to join us. And like we said, go see Once Upon This Island on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. Saturday or Sunday.
That is this weekend. This weekend.
Oh, I pointed the wrong way. Do it. Go. Here's this weekend.
All right. This has been awesome. We will see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Bye, everyone.